Russian President Vladimir Putin is ready to meet with his Ukrainian counterpart Volodymyr Zelensky if certain conditions are in place, Russian Foreign Minister Sergey Lavrov said Thursday. Our president has repeatedly said that he is ready to meet, including with Mr. Zelensky, with the understanding that all issues that require consideration at the highest level will be well worked out and experts and ministers will prepare the appropriate recommendations, and of course with the understanding that when and if the matter, I hope when, comes to signing future agreements, the issue of the legitimacy of the person who will sign these agreements with the Ukrainian side will be resolved, Lavrov said. According to Associated Press on Wednesday, the Russian official said that working on security arrangements in Ukraine without Moscow's involvement was not feasible, according to state news agency RIA Novosti. In comments Wednesday that were embargoed until Thursday, Zelenskiy said Ukraine will hold intensive meetings to understand what kind of security guarantees its allies are willing to provide. The details are being hammered out by national security advisors and military officials. The plans will become clearer within 10 days, Zelenskiy said. He then expects to be ready to hold direct talks with Putin for the first time since the conflict began. The talks could also be conducted in a trilateral format alongside Trump, Zelensky said.
Наш президент неоднократно говорил, что он готов встречаться, в том числе и с господином Зеленским, при понимании, что все вопросы, которые требуют рассмотрения на высшем уровне, будут хорошо проработаны, и эксперты, министры подготовят соответствующие рекомендации, и, конечно, при понимании, что когда и если дело, надеюсь, когда дело дойдет до подписания будущих договоренностей, то будет решен вопрос о легитимности персоны, которая будет подписывать эти договоренности с украинской стороной.
В последние дни может ли быть их целью срыв?
The leaders of Belarus and Iran signed new agreements on Wednesday to boost bilateral ties in key areas including defense, the two governments said. According to Associated Press, Presidents Alexander Lukashenko and Masoud Pezeshkian signed a package of 13 documents in the Belarusian capital, Minsk. Both governments have been placed under heavy sanctions, limiting potential trading partners. Pezeshkian said Iran would help Belarus to neutralize such measures, citing Tehran's decades of experience circumventing Western economic restrictions. Lukashenko told Pezeshkian that Belarus was ready to cooperate with you on all issues, from providing your country with food to military technical cooperation, calling the Iranian president a friend. The two parties did not disclose any further details on how the countries intend to cooperate in the defense sector. Other areas covered by the agreement include industry and tourism, as well as joint initiatives in science, technology and education. Access to Belarus wood processing and chemical industry, as well as potash fertilizers, can all bring potential benefits to Iran. The two presidents also said their countries would start work toward a strategic partnership treaty. Lukashenko, a close ally of President Vladimir Putin, allowed Russia to use Belarusian territory as a staging ground for Moscow, a full-scale invasion of Ukraine, and later allowed the deployment of Russian tactical nuclear missiles. Iran has supplied Russia with drones for use in the war, and Pezeshkian signed a strategic cooperation treaty with Putin in January, although it did not include a mutual defense clause. The Iranian president's visit to Minsk has been postponed several times due to U.S. strikes on Iran's nuclear facilities. Lukashenko called the strikes on Iran's nuclear infrastructure a serious threat to regional and international stability and security. We support Iran's legitimate right to develop peaceful nuclear energy, Lukashenko said.
Мы готовы с вами сотрудничать по вопросам от обеспечения продовольствием вашей страны населения до военно-технического сотрудничества. Еще раз подчеркиваю, здесь нет никаких секретов, мы не дружим против кого-то, мы все делаем на благо наших народов, иранского и белорусского народа.
Подписывают совместное заявление президента Республики Беларусь и президента Исламской Республики.
Мы поддерживаем легитимное право Ирана на развитие мирного атома. Уверен, для достижения прочного мира важно воздерживаться от любых действий, которые могут спровоцировать новую эскалацию.
Poland's defense minister said that a flying object that crashed and exploded in a cornfield in eastern Poland early Wednesday was identified as a Russian drone, calling it a provocation by Russia. According to Associated Press at a news conference in Warsaw, Defense Minister Władysław Kosiniak-Kamysz accused Russia of provoking NATO during a crucial moment, as peace talks over the war in neighboring Ukraine are underway, the country's news agency PAP reported. Russia is provoking us once again, Kosiniak-Kamysz said, just as peace talks have given hope that the war has a chance of ending. Police said they received reports of the crash around 2 a.m. and found burned metal and plastic debris at the scene, near the village of Ozany. The blast broke windows in some nearby houses, but nobody was injured, PAP reported. Poland's Armed Forces Operational Command said Wednesday on social media that no violations of Polish airspace from neighboring Ukraine or Belarus were recorded overnight. Officials initially said the explosion may have been caused by a part of an old engine with a propeller. Lublin District Prosecutor Jegorz Trzywiecz told reporters several investigators, both civilian and military, were examining the crash site. Since Russia launched a full-scale invasion of Ukraine more than 3 years ago, there have been a number of intrusions into Polish airspace, raising alarm in the European Union and NATO member state and reminding people how close the war is.
Szanowni Państwo, witamy serdecznie na konferencji prasowej z wicepremierem.
Po raz kolejny mamy do czynienia z prowokacją Federacji Rosyjskiej, z rosyjskim dronem. Mamy do czynienia w szczególnym momencie, kiedy trwają dyskusje o pokoju. Mamy do czynienia w momencie, kiedy jest nadzieja na to, że ta wojna, którą wypowiedziała Rosja, wojna przeciwko państwu ukraińskiemu, ale także wojna zagrażająca bezpieczeństwo państw NATO, ma szansę się zakończyć. Rosja po raz kolejny prowokuje.
Te drony zachowały się w większej całości. Pytanie, czy
Pokazuje to, że strategia Rosji w momentach kluczowych, w momencie, kiedy jest dyskusja o pokoju, w momencie, kiedy prezydent Trump czyni wszystko, żeby do tego pokoju doprowadzić, a jest otwartość Ukrainy, żeby ten pokój zawrzeć, strategia prowokacyjna i wojna hybrydowa trwa. Rosja się do tego nigdy nie przyzna. Tak jak się nie przyznała do żadnego z 8 zdarzeń w Mołdawii, 3 zdarzeń w Rumunii, 3 zdarzeń na Litwie, 2 zdarzeń na Łotwie, 1 zdarzenia w Bułgarii z dronami. Już nie mówię o o rakietach. Nie przyzna się do tego Federacja Rosyjska. Na razie. Ale